Talk about mine.
Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Talk about mine.
Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
I wanna sing about mine.
Savior, Savior, Savior.
Sing about mine.
Savior, Savior, Savior.
I wanna shout about mine. I wanna shout about mine.
We continue with what we were doing for the past few weeks, which is the blessings of Obedidom. We continue that probably next week because the Holy Spirit met with me last night and said I should go back to that topic of honoring the Son and see how we can build on the foundation that our mother laid the weekend she was with here, 18th and 19th of November. So, if you don't mind, there will be a little departure from what we have been teaching. The theme this morning, or the topic this morning, would be the convention topic, which is honoring the Son. Honoring the Son. It's good to honor the Lord. Hallelujah. One of my favorite songs. It's a great thing to serve the Lord. The second one is honoring Jesus, which is Jesus must be honored. Must be honored, must be honored. Jesus must be honored in my life. If you mean that with the whole of your heart, why not sing it with me this morning? Jesus must be honored, must be honored, must be honored. Jesus must be honored in my life. If you bring it, take it over for the Lord and say Jesus must be honored. Must be honored, must be honored. Jesus must be honored in my life every day. Sing it one more time. Jesus must be honored, must be honored, must be honored. Jesus must be honored in my life every day. Let's take our seats. Hallelujah. The word honor is a very important word, and it has been used in different contexts across the scriptures. It's been associated with long life. For example, if you look at Exodus chapter 20, verse 12, Exodus 20, 12, Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Bible says we should honor our father and our mother so that we may live long. So the word honor in the scripture is associated with long life. That same word honor is also associated with plenty and overflow. Plenty and overflow. The word honor is associated with plenty and overflow. And we see that play out in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 9 to 10. Proverbs 3, 9 to 10. Proverbs 3, 9 to 10. The Bible says, honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruit of your increase. And what will be the result of that for you? There will be plenty in the barn and overflow in the vats. So the word honor, we see again, has been associated with plenty and overflow. So on and so forth. Now, honor is another way of saying respect. Honor is another way of saying great esteem. And honor is another way of saying recognized importance and notability. Recognized importance and notability. Now, people are honored for different reasons. You may be honored in recognition of an achievement. That's why we see people who have distinguished themselves in certain areas of life. The institution that they did not even attend will invite them and confer on them honorary degrees. Now, they probably don't even know where that institution is. But because their reputation has gone ahead of them and has spoken greatly about them, you see people wanting to associate with them. And that results in honor for such people. So in my short work with God, I have discovered that people are honored, one, to recognize them for their achievements. And you see this also playing itself out in several layers of the society. For example, if you look at government circles, if we start from our country here, the United Kingdom, some people, as a result of maybe what they have discovered, or as a result of their community service, or as a result of what they have contributed one way or the other to any public institution, maybe hospital, airports, airlines, you see pilots who have been able to save airplanes from difficult situations. They say, okay, this is a very good pilot, and then they qualify for national honors. Here they call them OBE, that's Order of the British Empire, but they call them Conqueror of the British Empire. And the equivalent of that, where we come from, where some of us come from, COFR and CFR, even our General Overseer, I cannot count the number of institutions that have honored him. Many institutions across the globe have called him and honored him. So one of the first ways, one of the first reasons why people honor is to recognize the achievement. And the same thing the devil also tried to camouflage. Read the Bible, you see the devil decorating some people with certain names that they don't even deserve. When we want to refer to Bartimaeus, if I say Bartimaeus now, the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is blindness. So, and the Bible called him the blind Bartimaeus. If I mention the issue of blood now, we know there was a woman who suffered for 12 years. Praise the Lord. So people are recognized and honored for what they have achieved. The second reason why people are honored is out of love. When you love people, you honor them. When you love your husband, you honor your husband. When you love your wife, you honor your wife. You give them pride of place, and you make sure that they are satisfied with everything that you can do, make available for them. Why? Because you love them. And we saw that also in the Bible. We saw the prodigal son. This gentleman does not deserve it. But there's a love that is called the Father's love that made the man say, regardless of what he has done. Here was a man who prematurely went up to his father and said, can I have my own inheritance? And the man, out of love, so that the boy will not go and start stealing, he gave him his inheritance. The Bible said he went into a far country and he spent it on riotous living. After spending it on riotous living, he began to live the pigs. Then he remembered one day and said, I will go to my father. Because he knew that the father would always have something to give to him. We saw the same thing happen in the life of Esau. Esau sold his birthright, but he cried. The Bible said he cried and cried and cried. Isaac must have thought in his heart, it's only one blessing. I have given it to Jacob. But the Bible says Esau cried. He said, my father, my father, my father. Is it only one blessing you have? Why? Because he read his history. He knew that at one point in life, this man dug 7 different wells. He would dig a well, they would take it. He would dig a well, they would take it. But there is still enough well in him. He would still bring out another well, one way or the other. So when that man knew where he was, he knew that my father is there. He will have a reputation. Something will still make him do something out of nothing. And so he comes. When you love someone, you honor them. So another way by which, another reason why people honor is because they love. Your wedding day, I don't know the gifts that your dad gave you or the gift that your mom gave you, but I've read about people who on their wedding day, unknown to them, the father has accumulated shares for them, or has bought a piece of land, or has bought a ticket for their honeymoon, or has reserved some place for them on a cruise ship, going around the Mediterranean or going around the Caribbean, and say, okay, this is your wedding. That's the honor on the wedding day, which the husband or the wife or the new bride does not even know about. So you honor people not only because they have achieved something in life, you also honor them because you love them. Number 3, people are honored as a strategic move. People are honored as a strategic move. At some point in the Bible, David said, is there anybody left in the household of Esau? He says, so I can show compassion on him for the sake of the friendship, the covenant friendship between myself and Jonathan. And they were able to pull out one man called Mephibosheth. And Mephibosheth turned up, the Bible said he ate on David's table for the rest of his life. There was a guy who was lame on both feet, but he sat on the table of a king, eating the king's food, probably sitting and sleeping in the king's house, because David needed that to cement his kingship. Amen. So people are honored as a strategic move sometimes. There's a lineage in the Bible. When Saul was reigning, the head of his army was called Abner. When David was reigning, the head of his army was called Joab. But Joab was actually his cousin, Asahel and Amasa. The three of them were the heads of his army. Now, when Saul died, Joab, the head of this army, found Abner, the head of this army, and killed him, thinking he would have a kind of good record and favor with David, because I found the head of the army of your enemy and I killed him. But because David understood strategic moves, when Joab turned up and Joab confessed to him that he had killed Abner, he expected David to be happy. But David said, "You have slain a great man in Israel. You don't do things like that." The man was unhappy, but David made sure that the head of Joab did not go down to Sheol in peace because he killed Abner. So there are certain things that people do for strategic reasons, to cement things so that you will send a message to the world to show that we are together. There are certain difficulties you pass through for your family just to keep it together. Not because you can't share the responsibility or you share it, but you have to show leadership by example sometimes. And as a man, this applies to majority of us. A man should be a man in the house. Why? Because it is from you that the rest of the family draws strength. So I have also seen that people honor for as a strategic move. Now I'm from southwestern part of Nigeria, of the Yoruba stock. And I know that the head of family is usually called the Mogaji. How many of us have heard that word before? I was reading something recently in the papers. Usually the Mogaji, who is the head of the family, will probably be the oldest surviving man in the extended family altogether. But what they are doing now, you find 25-year-old boys being the head of the extended family. Not that they don't have elders, not that they are disrespecting tradition. No, it's a strategic move. Because they know that the world has changed. They know that these are the people who can now lead. Amen. And it's no surprise that Macron is the one leading France now. I think it's in his 30s, if I'm correct. Obama has served 8 years before he became 53 or 54. He has served 8 years. Cameron was a very young man here when he began to rule as a prime minister. So I've also discovered that people are honored as a consequence of a strategic move. Now, sometimes people are also honored because it is a command. People are honored because it is a command. Exodus chapter 20 verse 12, Exodus 20:12, Exodus 20:12. Bible says, honor your father and mother, so that and that was the first and probably the only commandment with a reward expressly tied to it in the 10 Commandments. Honor your father and your mother, so that your days may be long on the land that the Lord has given to you. Check the others out. I'm not totally sure any of them has a direct reward attached to it. So people are honored because it's a command. The next one is people are honored because it is institutional. People are honored because it is institutional. If a lion gives birth, it gives birth to a lion. You might call it a cub, but a lion is a lion. It's a question of time. After 2 or 3 years, you see that cub that you kept in your house grow to become a grown lion. If you are a prince, you are a prince. It's institutional. It's in the blood and you pass the gene. Now look at the royal family here in Buckingham. Okay, if the Queen goes now, we all know that at least 90% is Prince Charles. Now if Prince Charles goes, we know it's Prince Williams. Now Williams has a brother called Harry. If Williams goes, does the throne go to Harry? Who does it go to? George. No matter how small he is. If it doesn't go to George, who does it go to? If it doesn't go to George, who does it go to? So where is Harry? Irrelevant. Where is he? He's probably number 5 to the throne now. So sometimes it's institutional. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, he's already a duke. Duke of Cambridge. The wife is a duchess of Cambridge. If Harry gets married now, Duke of what? Sussex. And Duchess of Sussex. Sussex, they said. Institution. You can argue with it, you can quarrel with it, you can disagree with it, but it will still happen. So they are honored by reason of the institution. Now you can honor people also because of mannerism. When you get on a coach or a bus, and I'm sure many of our women will have experienced this, and you are sat there as a man, and you see a pregnant woman standing, or you see a senior citizen, don't let's even say pregnant, just see a senior citizen, maybe 60 and above, standing, and you look at the journey. It's not going to be a 5-10 minutes thing. Obviously, you stand up and you offer them your seat. Now, that's not institution. That's not out of law. You probably don't even know that. That is just plain simple manners. Praise the Lord. And that is why you will see people wanting to, you two are approaching a door, you open the door, you are the first there, but you step aside and say somebody else should pass. And then you come after them. Manners. So sometimes honor is conferred on people just to demonstrate manners. I've gone into all of this so that we can know what men think about, or one of the few reasons why men honor. But the title of the message is Honoring the Son. Now, in God's eyes, how can his own son, Jesus, how can he be honored? How can Jesus be honored? If you turn with me your Bibles to Matthew 17, verses 1 to 5. Matthew 17, verses 1 to 5. The Bible says, "Now after 6 days, Jesus took Peter, James, and John, his brother, led them up on a high mountain by himself, and he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as the light." 3. "And behold, Moses and Elijah appeared to them, talking with him. Then Peter answered and said to Jesus, 'Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah.' 5. While he was still speaking, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and suddenly a voice came out of the cloud, saying, 'This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear him.'" Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know how God wants you to honor his son, don't look too far. Just read that story very well. There are so many things that can be discussed in that story. People have said the Elijah that was there shows the prophets. And they said Moses that appeared there actually stands for the law. Some people said Elijah there actually starts, Moses stands for the beginning of things, because he started his ministry with fire. And Elijah starts for the end of things, because he actually ended his ministry with fire. And some have said the Moses that you see there shows that some of us as Christians will have to experience death before we get to heaven. And the Elijah there shows that some will have to be raptured. No, they will not taste death before they go. James, John, there people have said that stands for Israel. And the people at the bottom, remember they climbed the hill. The people at the bottom is actually the rest of the world. But that's not what I want to leave with us today. I want us to notice the voice that came from heaven. That is the Almighty Father speaking about his own Son. Don't forget, Jesus has been transfigured at that time. Eyes shining, face shining, garments glittering. And he said, This is my beloved Son. When I read the Bible, I try to identify the things that God personalized. It's not everything that God used the word my before mentioning them. Very few of them in the Bible. It starts with the church. He said, I will build my church. So one of the few properties that God has on this earth, he used to identify. The earth is the Lord's. Are you with me? The earth is the Lord's. I will build my church. Gold and silver, they are mine. I am the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hills. So, when he uses the word mine, then he expects you to see those things as he sees them. This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. If it was the account at his baptism, when John was baptizing him, that scripture stopped there. This is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased. But when he assumed the character of God on the mountain of transfiguration, it was a different thing. He said, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. And he said, yeah. That's what makes the whole difference. That is the biggest way by which you can honor the Son. Because the owner of the Son and the owner of your life said, this one, I'm not talking about, how many of us know that Mary had some other children after Jesus? Oh, he had some other children. Physical children with Joseph. We didn't talk about them that way. Isaac was of the covenant of promise. There might be other children from Keturah, the second wife. There might be Ishmael. But Isaac was the child of promise. The Bible did not say it expressly, but we saw Joseph stepping into the same lineage after the order of Jacob. And that was why when he wanted to bless his children, he crossed his hands. Manasseh and Ephraim. Amen. When God says, this is mine, he expects you to honor it. First fruits. Bring the tithe to the storehouse so that there will be meat in the house. He said, touch not my anointed, talking about his servants, and do no harm to my prophets. He said, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. He said, hear him. The greatest way, you hear him. There is no hope for a man who does not hear from God. Quote me anywhere. There is no hope for a man who does not hear, or a child of God who does not hear from God. And when I say hearing from God, it might be through many mediums. Through the word, through an angel, through a pastor, through your group leader, through your group head. A man that does not hear from God is not coming from anywhere and is not going anywhere. Obey him. Hear him. Now, why did he use the word hear? Why didn't he say, this is my beloved son, and say some other things? He said, hear him. Because that is the message to the church in the end times. Revelation chapters 1 and 2. He wrote to 7 different churches in Asia Minor. He wrote to the church in Thyatira. He wrote to the church in Pergamos. He wrote to the church in Ephesus. That's 3. He wrote to the church in Philadelphia. He wrote to the church in Laodicea. He wrote to the church in Sardis and the one in Smyrna. 7 different messages to 7 different churches. But he ended each of them with the same word. He said, he that has ears, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. Then he said, pick your pen, John, and write it down. Hear him. Hear him. Hear him. Why? Hearing God is the gateway to our destiny. I can guarantee you that. If you have not experienced it, say you have not experienced it. But the moment you taste it, every other thing becomes relevant to you. And that's why Jesus was able to say, those who have been born again, who have partook of this heaven on earth experience called being born again, if they go round again and abandon Jesus, it's like you are nailing him to the cross a second time. Those are the people that the Bible refers to as having fallen and falling away. You know, you can fall and you rise. Oh, you can fall and you rise. When a man falls 7 times, you rise 7 times. But when you fall away, this is where the problem is. It's the gateway to our destiny, hearing clearly from God. And I've said this many times. Check the Bible, Genesis to Revelation. All those who made impact for the kingdom of God, all of them, you will trace it to God said, and the word of God came to me, and the Spirit of God came upon me. You will always trace it to that. Abraham. Noah who will build an ark on a dry ground? Number 1. Number 2, they have not even experienced rain before. Rain has never fallen on the earth. And somebody, a prophet came from somewhere and said, the rain will fall, blah, 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 and all of that. And it can only be by the Spirit of God. Abraham, leave your kindred and go to a place where I'm going to show you. Those who curse you are cursed, those who bless you are blessed. Look at the sky. Can you count the stars? I can't count them. Look at the sea. Can you count the sand? I can't count them. So you will not be able to count the number of your children. And the man is about 90 and the wife is about 70. It can only be God. So if you didn't hear from God, you can't do great and mighty things. If you want tilapia, you don't need to go far into the sea. You get tilapia at the sides. If you want catfish, you get it at the side. But if you want the dolphins, the sharks, and the whales, to go into the deep, then deep will not be able to go onto deep. Why did he say we should hear him? Because he knows that it's only by faith we can relate with him. And the word of God is very clear about faith. It comes by hearing. And hearing the word of God. We said it on Friday. This word faith is so important that Jesus was extremely concerned. He was worried. Jesus was worried about faith when he was living. He said, when I come back, will I meet faith again? Jude verse 3. Bible says we have to contend for faith. Faith is so important that Bible refers to as the faith. And faith is now. Now, faith is the evidence. Now, faith is the substance. How does it come? It comes by the word. He said, hear him. It's the same thing as saying, obey him. Because when you hear something and you make no move about it, it's useless. Hear him, obey him. How do you obey? 3 ways. You obey promptly, you obey totally, and you obey permanently. Why? Because half obedience is also disobedience. Half obedience. That was the problem Saul had. He obeyed just 50%. I said, that's meaningless to me. You are lukewarm. I spew you out of my mouth. Now that I found somebody like my heart who will obey everything I ask him to do. David might have committed probably more sins, but he never committed one sin twice. Once he changes, he changes. I will close with this testimony that I love to share all the time from our general here. And we'll begin to pray. In terms of hearing God and obeying, God will always speak. But whether we listen is a different thing. And that's why we sing that song, God has something to say. God has something to say. I will listen, pay full attention. God has something to say. He will never stop speaking. But whether we hear and obey is a totally different ballgame. He shared this testimony, and some of us have heard it before. He said there was a time in the early days of RCCG, they needed a Mercedes-Benz, the 200 one, the old rugged one, that can needed in one of the mission fields, that can do the job. So he said he prayed, and God answered him and said, I have heard you. And 2 weeks after, the Mercedes-Benz has not appeared. So he went back to God and said, God, what about the Mercedes-Benz that we spoke about? And God said to him, don't worry, you'll see it tomorrow. And then the following morning, a man came and brought the Mercedes-Benz 200. Has already done all the paperwork. This is the key. This is the car. Pray for me. He prayed for him, took the car, and he left. That was in the morning. In the evening, another man came and brought the same specification of car. But this time around, he said, God spoke to me 2 weeks ago that I should bring this car to you. But I delayed, I was a bit reluctant. But eventually I decided to obey God. This is the car. These are the papers. This is the key. Pray for me. The Jew said, he told him, I cannot take this car from you. I asked for just one car, and it has come, and it has been sent to where it is needed. He said the man begged him. He said, he can't take it. He said he himself did not know the reason why he refused that car. Because you asked for one car, two came, and you can take it and send it to some other places where it's needed in the same ministry. He said, but he didn't realize that God wanted to teach him a lesson. 3 years after, the man who had and obeyed straight away came back to him and said, Daddy, since you prayed for me, God has been blessing me. We have just taken delivery of our sheep. Taking delivery of our ship. I'm talking of an ocean-going merchant vessel. That the whole of this building, not even a car, can be just one cargo in it. So God has been blessing me. And I prayed for him, dedicated the ship. I'm talking about big SHIP, not SHEPP. He said the same day, the man who had and did not obey quickly came to him again. With the same old Mercedes-Benz. But this time around, all the tires were gone, the exhaust was gone, the engine was smoking, and he began to cry. And he said, Daddy, who was that man who stole my blessing? He said, since that day, life has been very, very hard for him. The Jew said he felt like crying. But he picked the message from there that anytime God lays anything on his heart, obedience, those ones are still people, they are not operating at the level of obedience anymore. Obedience is minor to them now. Their own obedience now is prompt obedience. Even if it means going to the bank 3 times in a day. Prompt obedience. As long as it is God's. Total obedience and complete obedience. Non-stopping, everlasting obedience till he dies. Because it is the man who is ready to die on this journey of obedience that will get the prize. That's just a pure simple truth. Life will not give you what you deserve. Life will only give you what you demand. Life will not give you what all of us deserve to live well. We're living in probably the second or third richest country in the world. Maybe after America, competition between Germany and Japan, then they must come to the United Kingdom. Money flows into this country from several parts of the world by reason of our commonwealth of unity. English language is spoken by almost 75%. You go to any country in the world, you won't get lost if you can speak English. You will always get somebody who will hear you, any part of the world, even in France. So we are blessed, we are lucky, extremely, very, very lucky to be here. But as there are still no poor people around us, loads of them. Life will not give you what you desire. Life will not give you what you deserve. Life will only give you what you demand. I want us to place a demand on life this morning. Let's stand to our feet. Yes, again, thank you for joining us for the service we just completed now at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, our Saviour's Parish in Norton-on-Tees, Teesside in the northeast of England. We have been teaching the subject of honoring the Son, and we have seen that one of the ways by which God wanted us to honor the Son is to hear Him. And that is why at the mountain of transfiguration, He said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased, hear Him." So I believe that you have been blessed, and I know that the hand of God that is upon you as a result of that ministration will not depart from you. Join us again next Sunday for a fresh edition of the power of God, and I believe that the grace of God that will be released in the next service will be enough for you to take you through 2017 and 2018. So see you next Sunday. God bless you and remain blessed. Amen. So don't forget to join us electronically, Facebook, Twitter accounts, and all other means by which you can communicate. Even on our podcast, it's all open, and you can join our live stream. It's the same quality in any part of the world. Just go to rccg, our Saviour's Parish.org, and I believe that you will be blessed. Thank you.